grows and works at their own pace. And at the end of the day, nobody has to live your life but you. So do things that make you happy, and do things that sometimes make you uncomfortable. Grow, no matter how slow or fast you do it. You just grow. You gotta grow. I also want to share that I've been fortunate enough to, not go through all these things alone. I know I said I did all this work to get myself here, but I didn't do it by myself. My wife was a huge proponent. My family, huge support system that helped me get to where I am. I understand not everybody is as fortunate to have somebody in their life to lean on, and for those who don't, I just want to extend myself to you. I know I may be a stranger to someone or somebody you may or may not have met before, but I know how important it is to have somebody in your corner, somebody in your life, even if it's just to work out ideas or someone to vent to, stuff that we need, And if you ever feel low, less than, or any of those emotions that we mentioned and feel like you don't have anywhere to go, reach out. I'll try my best to help you out, even if it's just to listen, to bounce ideas off of. It's all about community. And with technology, there's no excuse why we can't come together and help each other out. We're more connected now than ever before. So since this podcast, this episode has been about dealing with how you ingest bad news and the things you can do to make yourself feel better, this week's Limelight PPDPT goes out to Hope for Depression Research Foundation. We spoke on a lot of research today, a lot of steps on how to navigate through life's bad news and all the bad news we get and are constantly being surrounded by can lead to some serious daunting outlooks on life, which most likely leads to a very common symptom that many people develop, and that's depression. The mission of the Hope for Depression Research Foundation is to fund cutting-edge scientific research into the origins, diagnosis, treatments, and prevention of depression and its related mood and other emotional disorders such as bipolar disorder, postpartum depression, post-traumatic stress syndrome, anxiety disorder, and suicide. I chose this organization because, as we discussed, mental health is something that gets ignored way too often. And I'm super interested in the science and facts of these types of things. And with this organization being a research foundation, it's also a plus and another reason why I chose them for this week's Limelight PPDPT segment. They're doing the research to help people. Something that a lot of us are walking around thinking we're okay and we're mentally not. So that's why I chose those guys. So just to recap, I wanted to take this episode to reiterate the importance of having a better outlook on life and focusing on positive things. I also understand that focusing on positive things doesn't always cut it and making things better. So I wanted to give you some of the tools and steps that I use to navigate through this negative world that we live in. I also wanted to share my personal experiences so you can understand why I do what I do, and maybe you can relate to some of the things I've gone through. Once again, remember, just the steps. Accept your negative emotions. It's all right to feel however you're feeling. Embrace it and deal with it. Step 2 is repeat exposure to the news. Make sure you're used to hearing whatever it is that's bothering you over and over again until it doesn't bother you anymore. It's going to take a while, but that's a critical step. Step 3, reframe your thoughts. Once you get those two down, change the way you look at the world. Super hard, needs to be done. Step 4, learn to overcome diversity. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and embrace the suck. These are all things we have to do in life. Step 5, take challenges head on and don't be afraid to fail. Be kind to yourself, both physically and emotionally. You can't keep pushing if your vessel is bad mentally and in bad physical shape. So, and last but not least, my personal step, take a break. If you feel like you can't keep going, take a step back and breathe. Take a break. Listen to something that'll get you in a better mood, whether it's music, a podcast, TV. Turn off your brain. Think about nothing. Put some mindless TV on. Whatever you need to do. Remember, you got to take a break. The next few episodes that you'll hear on the coming up weeks will be all interviews from different people from all different walks of life. I'll be sure to put a positive spin on all the conversations that we'll be having, and I hope you get some good advice from this episode. maybe you can relate and apply some, if not all, the steps to your life or the next time you receive bad news. And if you need somebody to hold you accountable, or you want to share with the listeners of this podcast something that you plan on changing in your life for the positive, no matter how big or how small, reach out, let me know, and I'll share it if you want me to. I'll be sure to respond and do all I can to help. If you have a good news story that you'd like to share with the listeners, you can reach me at limelighthighlight@gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Limelight Highlight. My Twitter handle is LLHighlight. And if you want to reach out and remain anonymous, I can be discreet. We can share if you want to share, or you can just talk to me. Whatever it is you need, I'm here. I'm putting this out there because you never know who might be listening and could use the help, or the community to keep them on track, or who can relate. If I could help change one life, that's worth it to me. I'll be sure to put this week's PPDPT link in the show notes while you're there, to be sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review on whatever platform you're listening to. And if you really want to support this podcast, share it with a friend or a family member or anybody you think can benefit from hearing some good news. That's all I got for this episode. So be sure to tune in next week for more positivity in your life, and keep that half cup full look outlook on life. I messed that all up, but you get what I'm saying. Until next time, be humble, be helpful, pay it forward, be the best you, and remember, it ain't all bad. Thanks for listening. Peace.